Videosportz presents a history, the Bell Game.
The battle for the bell.
The bell, the traveling trophy and symbol of rivalry between the Valley's two oldest secondary schools. The bell was donated by a local church in 1968. Its ringing no longer draws parishioners to Sunday service, but to serve as a ringing reminder of who wins the annual grudge match between Victor Valley and Apple Valley High Schools. So let's go back and set the stage to 2004. Victor Valley was poised to make history. No Jackrabbit team had lost the bell game in a century. By that meaning, Victor Valley had won 4 consecutive years beginning in 2000. A 2004 win would mark the first time either team won 5 straight. But that was not to be the case. Apple Valley unleashed Mojave River League sprint champion Greg Johnson, who had the best game of his career, 245 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. The 26-6 win before a Newton T. Bass Stadium crowd of 5,000. The 2005 matchup brought 5,000 fans to Raymore Stadium in Victorville, where the home team Jackrabbits and visiting Sun Devils entered the game with 1-1 records. The first quarter saw Victor Valley move the ball effectively against the Devils, but Apple Valley's defense stiffened in the red zone and the Rabbits were unable to put any points on the scoreboard.
After a scoreless first period, the second quarter began. It was like all helmets broke loose.
The Jackrabbits struck first and quickly in the second stanza. Behind a solid wall of protection, senior quarterback Branimir Courtney slung sidearm to junior Brandon Shanklin in the end zone, and the Rabbits jumped on top 7-0. The scoring play was from 8 yards out. Bell game drama was nothing new to this coach. Leland Udy played in the Bell game in 1970. He had led the Rabbits to their 4 straight wins coming into last season's battle. Apple Valley responded to Victor Valley's TD less than 1 minute later. Wide receiver Corey Johnson broke 2 tackles on the slant pattern and galloped into the end zone from 30 yards out. The extra point tied the game at 7, and the Sun Devils did not trail again. Armando Nunez drills this scoring pass from 5 yards out to Greg Gilmore for the go-ahead touchdown. The unsuccessful conversion left the Sun Devils ahead by 6. Gilmore's 38-yard field goal with 5.5 minutes left proved the game winner. With time running out, Tyrone Rudd took this pass from Branimir Courtney and scored from 8 yards out. 21 seconds remained. For Coach Frank Police and the Sun Devils, the 16-14 victory and back-to-back wins made it 24 Bell game triumphs.
Looking back in High Desert sports history, the Bell Game, Victor Valley's last rivalry game win, 2010.
The Sun Devils scored on their first play from scrimmage. Ben Quiros hits Cavian Flournoy on a crossing pattern, and the 6'1 senior takes it 64 yards. The Jackrabbits immediately took the wind from the Sun Devils' sails. Zeke Julian connects with Trevon Bedard for 81 yards. On the next play, Jordan Watson drives in from 2 yards out. The Sun Devils respond with a scoring drive, capped by Jermaine Lowe's 16-yard run. Isaiah Kepley's 40-yard field goal pulls the visiting Rabbits closer. It's Apple Valley 14, Victor Valley 10 to end the first quarter. In the second quarter, Jackrabbits special teams make 2 huge plays. Apple Valley tries a field goal from long distance, but the play backfires. Zeke Julian takes the kick inside the 5 and zigzags his way 98 yards to put the Rabbits on top for the first time in this 42nd battle for the bell. Quarterback Quiros scrambles in from 6 out, and the Sun Devils are back on top 21-17 with 30 seconds to go before the half. Here's the second of the 2 special teams' special plays that virtually make the difference in the ball game. Apple Valley kicks away from Isaiah Kepley, but that doesn't cut it if kick coverage collapses. Travian Bedard breaks 2 tackles and runs the kickoff back 98 yards for a touchdown. And it was Bedard again, scoring the 4th Victor Valley touchdown, the 21-yard scoring play from Zeke Julian. The Victor Valley lead is 10 in the third quarter. The Jackrabbits hold on The final, 38-30.
Tyler Murphy leads the 2011 Sun Devils in regaining the bell in the longest-standing rivalry game between Victor Valley schools.
Victor Valley could not contain the Sun Devils' junior running back. The 5'8", 155-pound Tyler Murphy rushes for 297 yards. This touchdown, the first of the game, from 23 yards. It was a night of near-perfect execution for Ben Quiros. This is the second Sun Devils touchdown. Roman Novell on the 32-yard scoring play, first of two scoring passes to the 5'10 receiver. The second from 14 yards out. Quiros connects with Tyler Basket, who gets behind the Jackrabbits cornerback for this 21-yard scoring play.
Tyler Murphy follows the path plowed by the likes of 59 Anthony Ballinger, 56 Jacob Tizard, 61 Matthew Hajazen, and 68 Troy Bacon. Murphy capped off his incredible performance with a 6-yard touchdown in the third quarter. The final score, 51-6.
In 2011's 43rd Battle for the Bell. The Bell Game 2013, and one of the most exciting, down to the last series, down to the wire, or perhaps up to the belfry, contests in the history of the crosstown rivalry between Victor Valley's Jackrabbits and the Apple Valley Sun Devils. Apple Valley's D'Angelo Guillory scored the winning touchdown with 4.5 minutes remaining in the ball game in the Sun Devils' 13-6 victory. A 13-yard Justin Connors to Mason Kelly connection takes the ball to the 1. D'Angelo Guillory reaches the end zone, or at least reaches out and gets the football across the goal line, and the first points of the game are scored 90 seconds into the third. Victor Valley blocks the extra point attempt, and it's 6-0 Sun Devils. Apple Valley's next possession, a deep drive into the red zone, 4th and 1. Victor Valley's 320-pound Gabriel Razzo nearly bears all in coming up with the huge stop. That sets up a 94-yard scoring drive beginning late in the third. Victor Valley, on the first play of the fourth quarter, Daniel Walker rifles the 8-yard strike to Joseph Badillo, and the Rabbits are in position to take the lead. But their extra point kick is no good, and the score remains tied at 6. Apple Valley's game-deciding 80-yard drive, this third down pass completion, Justin Connors to Dwight Williams, crucial in keeping that drive alive. D'Angelo Guillory gets the call and crosses the goal on the play from a yard out. Sam Wallace's kick follows, and Apple Valley's lead is 7. 4:35 remains in the game. And now we are to the Jackrabbits' final drive. Victor Valley quarterback Daniel Walker to Jamal Tate. Walker to Tate to Donald Mitchell into Sun Devils territory. It took this D'Angelo Guillory pass interception with under a minute remaining to finally put the game away. The final, Apple Valley 13, Victor Valley 6. Let's go to 2014, another Bell game decided by a touchdown or less.
Senior running back Tristan McNatt plowed, bulled, and barreled his way over Victor Valley defenders in leading the Sun Devils to a 35-28 victory in the Battle for the Bell. The 47th annual Bell Game, featured by the Great American Rivalry series, which shines the spotlight on top high school football rivalries across the nation. Tristan McNatt scored 2 touchdowns and rushed for 109 yards and was named Most Valuable Player by the Great American Rivalry series. The Battle for the Bell was a classic struggle between two long-standing rivals played before a near-capacity crowd of high-energy fans, both sides of Raymore Stadium. This is the 5th Bell game in the last 7 decided by a touchdown or less. Apple Valley's triumph tied the mark
for one school recording 5 consecutive bell game victories. After falling behind 21-7 in the second quarter, Apple Valley came back behind a balanced offensive attack that marked a breakthrough game for junior quarterback Mossy Bell. It was Bell's touchdown pass to Kai Merchant that brought Apple Valley to within 7 at halftime. And another Mossy Bell to Kai Merchant touchdown pass puts the Sun Devils ahead to stay in the third quarter. Mossy Bell's effective passing was opened up by the thunder and lightning ground game of seniors Greg Sprague and Tristan McNatt. Time and time again, the senior running backs displayed second effort in breaking tackles, keeping drives alive, and finally enabling the Sun Devils to run out the clock after Victor Valley had pulled within 7 late in the fourth quarter. Greg Sprague carried for 239 yards and scored the first Sun Devils touchdown, a 9-yard power burst that tied the score at 7 in the first quarter. Apple Valley overcame a tremendous game from Jackrabbit quarterback Justin Ortiz, who completed 15 of 25 passes for 308 yards and 4 touchdowns. Victor Valley scored on their opening possession, Justin Ortiz to Elijah Whitfield on a 9-yard play. A pair of Justin Ortiz to Cameron Pyant touchdown passes gave Victor Valley a 21-7 lead in the second quarter. With 4.5 minutes on the clock, first down at the 13, Justin Ortiz lofts the pass to Andy Garcia, who reaches high ahead of Devils free safety Seth Baker coming over the top. Garcia backs into the end zone. The Jackrabbits are back within a touchdown. Apple Valley runs out the clock. The final score, Apple Valley 35, Victor Valley 28. The dazzling pass reception by T.J. Lewis gives Apple Valley the winning touchdown in the 48th. Battle for the bell. The scoring pass from Mossy Bell with 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. The Sun Devils defense then denies the Jackrabbits a 4th and goal at the 2 to hold on for the 29-22 bell game victory. The Jackrabbits had taken the lead on Justin Ortiz's 15-yard touchdown pass to Desmond Kepley at the 3-minute mark in the third quarter. The Sun Devils' successful conversion following the T.J. Lewis TD reception, Seth Baker diving into the end zone, gives Apple Valley their final 2 points, and the Sun Devils become the first team to win 6 consecutive Battle for the Bell games in the Great American Rivalry Series.
It's really a feeling you can't explain, like all these people here. Bell game, adrenaline's pumping,
This 2016 Bell game marked the first time in the 48-year series that the Sun Devils and Jackrabbits both enter the Cross Valley Rivalry undefeated. The Sun Devils take the field before a standing room only crowd upward of 5,000 in attendance. The Sun Devils began flying around and making big plays from the start. Charles Logan takes the opening kickoff at the 14, bobbles it momentarily, retrieves the ball, and races 86 yards past the Jackrabbit sidelines. Apple Valley takes the lead on the first play of the game. 13 seconds in, unlucky for Victor Valley, 7-0 Apple Valley. Ethan Smith's kick from 29 yards out gives the Sun Devils a 10-0 lead with 41 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Jackrabbits begin the long march back. Justin Ortiz to Gabriel Trujillo all the way down inside the red zone to the 15. Next play, Justin Ortiz to Gabriel Trujillo, and the Jackrabbits are on the board. An Ortiz to Andy Garcia 2-point conversion pulls Victor Valley within 10. 18-8. The Rabbits insert massive lineman Hinzel Fotofili, 10, 280 pounds. Reference the refrigerator of Da Bears fame. Hinzel Fotofili plows over from 2 yards out, and it's a 3-point game. Sun Devils 18, Jackrabbits 15. Apple Valley adds a 37-yard field goal with time running out in the second quarter to make it 21-15.
with 3:22 to play in the third. 3rd and 10 from the 15. Justin Ortiz beats the pass rush and lofts it to 6'2" senior Damian Kepley, who's glided behind a pair of defenders and pulls down the scoring pass. The extra point gives Victor Valley the lead, 22-21. Mossy Bell rolls to his right. Devin Fisher, 57, picks off stunting linebacker Jaime Campos. T.J. Lewis turns on the stop-and-go route, grabs the ball, loses the handle, regains control, and turns the play into Bell game history. The final, Apple Valley 29, Victor Valley 22. It goes down as one of the most exciting games in Battle for the Bell history. In addition to 6 straight, it is 11 wins in the last 13 Bell games for the Sun Devils.
The Apple Valley Sun Devils scored twice in 16 seconds in the third quarter, en route to a 57-12 Bell game victory over Victor Valley. Keshawn Griffin's kickoff return for a touchdown, followed by Seth Baker's interception and 75-yard return, putting the game well out of reach in the 49th edition of the Battle for the Bell. The Sun Devils score the first 3 times they get their hands on the ball to open the contest. Donovan Ferguson breaks the ice on a 10-yard run. Jeff Widener's 6-yard touchdown pass to tight end Kai Merchant, the Sun Devils' second possession. Donovan Williams' 65-yard run makes it a 3-touchdown lead, 21-0 early in the second quarter. 14 seconds to go before halftime. Jeff Widener lofts the touchdown pass to Keshawn Griffin on the 28-yard scoring play that makes it 28-0 at the intermission. Jeff Widener also has a 17-yard scoring pass to Xander Witt. The final touchdown of the game comes on the 3rd touchdown of the night by Keshawn Griffin. Late game razzle-dazzle on the wide receiver reverse. In the early going, Victor Valley held down the high-scoring Sun Devils by holding onto the ball, consuming huge chunks of first and second quarter time of possession. But the Sun Devils' Jake Anderson makes this major impact play, blocking the Jackrabbits punt, picking it up, and running it down to the 6 to set up Apple Valley's second touchdown. The eventual 57-12 win is Apple Valley's 7th consecutive Bell game victory. This is the app for which they play, the Bell. And for Sun Devil senior quarterback Jeff Widener, number 9, the number 8 figures heavily into tonight's grand scheme of things. The 76-21 victory, the 8th consecutive Bell game win for Apple Valley. For Jeff Widener, 8 scoring passes on the night. Much is made about total points scored. Was that a high priority?
It wasn't at the top of our list. The top of our list was winning, number 1. Number 2, making history. And then for the 8 years, and then the 3rd was for the point margin. So
the first Jeff Widener TD pass is caught by Chad Smith, a 51-yard scoring play. Chad Smith's first of 2 touchdown receptions. The first of 2 touchdown receptions for super sophomore wide receiver Tyron Smith caps the Sun Devils' first quarter explosion of 5 touchdowns in 4 minutes.
From the 3.
The Jeff Widener to Tyron Smith touchdown is on the slant pattern, produces a 6th Apple Valley touchdown. It is from 3 yards out. The next Sun Devils possession culminates with Chad Smith demonstrating his yards after catch, open field running ability. The pass travels 12 yards. Chad Smith covers the remaining 31 with 2.9 seconds before halftime from their own 46. Jeff Widener lifts a perfectly thrown pass, and Xander Witt cradles it at the 15 and sprints into the end zone. 54 yards for the touchdown. Jeff Widener pitches quick to Donovan Ferguson, who makes an acrobatic reaction to the ball and without breaking stride, races into the end zone for point number 62, surpassing the previous high points scored total of 58 set back in 1999. Jeff Widener concludes his historic night's work with this 12-yard scoring pass to Xander Witt. For Jeff Widener, 25 completions in 33 attempts, 463 yards, and 8 scoring passes. The final in Bell Game 50, 76-21, Sun Devils. J-Max Denegal throws 4 scoring passes as Apple Valley runs its Bell Game win streak to 9. Victor Valley takes the field 1-2 on the year, ranked 21 in the Max Pratt Division 9 poll. Apple Valley ranked 6th in Division 6, 3-0 coming in. J-Max Denegal to Tyron Smith, and it is 7-0. Sun Devils just under 7 minutes in. This sustained drive carries into the outset of the second quarter. From the 6th, Great American Rivalry Series MVP, Kenyatta Edwards Jr. with the second Sun Devils touchdown. Following recovery of an onside kick, Apple Valley scores again, a 4-minute penalty-infested drive that ends with J-Max Denegal to Jeremy Justice II, the play covering 41 yards. Kenyatta Edwards Jr. enters the end zone standing up. The 2-point conversion makes it 21-0 with just under 7 minutes remaining before halftime. This is the series capped by Ryan Webster's one-handed grab of the J-Max Denegal pass for Apple Valley touchdown 4 of 7 on the night. The play covers 30 yards. First TD reception this season for the 6'4", 250-pound Ryan Webster. Kenyatta Edwards Jr. scoring his second touchdown of the night, bowling over a final defender and carrying into the end zones. This is the only touchdown in the third quarter. 4th and goal at the 1. J-Max Denegal rolls out left this time. Jacob Soria with the catch in the end zone. For J-Max Denegal, 10 of 16 passes for 180 yards in his first Bell game. Final touchdown of the night comes on the 25-yard run by junior Stephen Wright. The Sun Devils win a 9th consecutive Bell game and now leads in Bell game victories 36-15.